Welcome to my video series on zero-based budgeting and cash flow management. This video series will go through planning, tracking, financial control, reporting, and resources related to the Managing My Money Excel spreadsheet for zero-based budgeting. The purpose of this first video is to give an introduction and overview of the Excel spreadsheet tool and to provide instructions for downloading it to use if you think it will be useful. First, let's briefly talk about zero-based budgeting. Zero-based budgeting is where you document the income that you will make over the year and then set up a plan for how every dollar of that income will be used. It's quite an empowering process that improves financial understanding, clarity, and most importantly, gives you control. This is because, unlike traditional budgets, a zero-based budget allows you to be flexible and adjust to priority changes in your life and unexpected events while maintaining financial clarity and control on how those changes will impact your overall annual financial plan. Execution of a zero-based budget using the right tools will also allow you to manage cash flow. This is being able to forecast how the timing of expenses impacts available cash and how you can control this. For example, with the same amount of money available and the same amount of expenses planned, you can either run out of cash and have to rely on credit cards or loans, which increase your cost, or you can manage the cash flow to avoid this situation. This video is an overview and demo of how to use a comprehensive zero-based budgeting Excel spreadsheet. You can use it to not only set up a zero-based budget, but also to record expenses against your plan, to track progress towards savings and debt reduction goals, to forecast your projected end-of-year financial health, and to manage and control your plan throughout the year as your situation or priorities change. The Managing My Money tool is freely available to use. Before the demo, let me summarize the prerequisites for using the application. It requires a local version of Microsoft Excel running on the Windows operating system. The spreadsheet and all data remain local on your computer. It only supports US regional language, date, and currency formats. Note that the importing of data from bank accounts and credit cards is an optional feature that requires a paid subscription from one of two unaffiliated data providers, Tiller Money or Quicken. If you are interested in using this spreadsheet, you can send an email request to mmm.expenseplanning@gmail.com. The spreadsheet is based on a simple workflow. Just fill in the information sheets from left to right. So let's jump into the demo. This is the Managing My Money spreadsheet. You can see that there's a workflow, and you can go from left to right. The first few sheets are to create your zero-based budget. That includes the Goals tab, the Income tab, the Expense tab, and then the Validate tab, which confirms that your budget is set up correctly. Then after that, we have a screen for tracking your expenses. Then there is the command center of this process, which is managing your plan, the monthly management and the annual management. And then the last few sheets are forecasting, goal tracking, and reporting, which show how you're doing. So these blue buttons show the workflow, and they refer to the tabs at the bottom of the screen. Workflow again is left to right. So let's go over each of these in turn and see what they do. So on the Goals tab, this tab allows you to set long, medium, and short-term goals. The long and medium are optional but encouraged. The important part on this one is this year's goal section, because these goals should tie directly into your zero-based budget. Then the income screen. This is where you can identify and configure the amount of income that you plan to have for over the next 12 months. Then the expenses screen gives you tools to actually generate the zero-based budget. Now there's a separate video that will show step by step how to use the goals, the income, and the expenses tab to generate your zero-based budget. Then finally there's the Validate. This one is a report that allows you to see that confirm that you have a valid plan in place. So those tabs, validate, expenses, income, and goals, are part of this first workflow on creating your zero-based budget. Then the expense tracking is the tracks sheet. You can also get it by clicking on this button, and it will take you to the track sheet. This has a set of tools that allow you to manually record your expenses, and as well as some optional feature for importing from either Tiller Money or from Quicken. Then there is, as I mentioned, going back, the management sheets, which is the monthly management and the annual. So if we go to the monthly one, that will take you to this monthly spend management screen. I have a video that shows how you can use this in a brief 10-minute session every month, every week to manage your monthly expenses. Then there is the annual spend management, and I'll have a separate video on this one which shows you how, with just about a 15 to 20 minute session once a month, you can manage your monthly plan. And then finally we have the area on goals and forecasting. So again, you can also click the tabs on the bottom to go directly to any area you want. So this is the forecasting. This shows an area that shows your cash flow in orange. It shows your cumulative, where you're going to end up. And there's a goal tracking, which allows you to put in both savings and debt reduction. For this demo here, I don't have any debt goals configured, but you can have multiple of these goals, savings and debt, and be tracking them here. And then the reports, which allows you to look at expense report, income report, savings and debt reduction goal report. And there's options. For example, you can drill down at a level below. So in this case, I'm looking for January through March. I don't really have data entered in for those months yet, but you can see a drill down report. You can see how much was spent at each, in this case, each grocery store, and then each transaction. So then there's some optional sheets that allow you to just put in, if those who want to use the normal spreadsheet functions can use these sheets to generate your own reports or your own tables. And that is a quick walkthrough of the Managing My Money spreadsheet. As I mentioned, I have separate videos that go over each of the workflows, especially when there's one on tracking to show how you can easily track your expenses, one on creating your zero-based budget, and then one on monthly management and one on annual management. I hope you found value in what you saw in the demo and what this spreadsheet can do for you. If you did, you can send an email to mmm.expenseplanning@gmail.com for instructions on how to download and use the spreadsheet. A reminder of the prerequisites are that it requires a local version of Microsoft Excel running on Windows 10 operating system. I would also encourage you to watch the second video on this series, which is the zero-based budget creation in detail, and that will take you step by step through the first workflow in the spreadsheet. Thank you for watching.